to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect it.
And I'm Kayfabe Avenue, and I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And I'm E.A.
It's Kayfabe Avenue. Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks. I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And I'm E.A.
And this is Kayfabe Avenue. And tonight we're bringing you AEW's Dynamite wrap up. So we're 24 hours removed. So we got a lot to unpack. But before we do that, let's highlight AEW Dark from this past Tuesday and run down the match listings and the overall results since we missed this week's AEW Dark. So here it goes. Chuck Taylor defeats VSK. Abaddon defeats Renee Michelle. Good to see her back. Third week in a row. Orange Cassidy, rare appearance on Dark, defeats Steve Stetson. The SCU keeping their run strong. Defeats Matt Sydal and Mike Sydal, the Sydal brothers. So good to see them officially a tag team continuing forward. And good to see that SCU hasn't broken up yet.
Has SCU had Scorpio Sky outside?
No, it was just the tag team, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian.
I just want to say to the public, like I didn't see Dark.
Yeah, we're not getting into too much details. Just the match.
I just want to.
We had Bear Country defeats M. Badu and Baron Black. We had 10 from the Dark Order defeating Daniel Joseph. We had Aaron Solo and Lee Johnson defeating Lou Val and Chris Peaks. Red Velvet and Kylan King, defeating Ivelisse and Diamante to my frustration. I know they're building up Red Velvet, but
hey, no details.
I don't want to see Ivelisse lose. Just my opinion.
Hold up.
We can't get into it.
She did a 2-day this week.
Yeah, she was building up to her matchup on Dynamite, excuse me. Okay. So we have Top Flight defeating Fuego del Sol and John Cruz. We got Stu Grayson of the Dark Order defeating JD Drake. The TH2 defeats Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo. We have Max Caster defeating JJ Garrett. We have the Gun Club defeating Aaron Fry, Tony Vega, and Angel Fashion. Hilarious commentary on that. Go back and check that. Dark Order defeats Levi Shapiro, John Skyler, and Ryzen. And that was all the results for Dynamite. So we moving on to
Dark, AEW Dark.
Yeah, that was the results for Dark, excuse me. So moving on to Dynamite, we have
let's start with the rankings first.
All right.
So the rankings dropped before Dynamite. So this is this week's rankings. Obviously, Kenny Omega is the world champion, and TNT champion is Darby Allin. The number one contender, we have Jonathan Moxley. The number two contender, we have Pac. The third contender is Adam Page. The fourth contender is Cody Rhodes. And the fifth contender is Miro. So what do you guys think about that?
For the title?
Miro being, so those rankings share TNT and the AEW World Championship. Those rankings are shared. So those are the top 5 for both divisions. I don't think Miro makes any fucking sense being on that ranking other than the fact that he got wins. But hopefully him being in that position, it puts Miro in a better direction, because I don't like this game over shit. And we'll allude more to that because they do touch on that during Dynamite. But I don't like the current direction of Miro. So that's, I'll take that for more of a positive note that he's in that ranking. Even though he's been doing a lot of nothing.
I'm surprised
because it seems like the first It's
Hold up.
actually
Can you
it feels
actually
like
do you have it pulled up on your screen?
yeah. So it
Can you
seems
share
like
your screen?
yeah. So it seems like Moxley and Pac are tied with 3-0, right? Then next Adam Page is 2-0. Then Cody is 2-0. Then Miro is 2-0. So it seems like there's a lot of people who are tied right now for contendership, and the top two are John Moxley and Pac right now.
If we was to look at it,
I'm gonna screen share the ranking system.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
run it
If you
down.
could do it, brother. But let me say something. While he's doing that, I just want to share on the sports projective. It still seems like, let's say, we just started the basketball season or football season. This will be like the beginning of the first season. As of March 3rd, look at it, 2020, right? So we can't really get too hype on the rankings right now until later in the year. My opinion. We still got to look at it as a wrestling based conversation.
The I don't like the rankings because it doesn't take into account what you actually been doing on TV and what your situation really is in the company. Pac just recently came back. He's gotten 3 wins in random situations. Nothing
For
that
real,
holds
like
real weight in storyline. Hangman is the opposite. Has a lot of story going on, a lot of threads being pulled, and he only has 2 wins here, no losses. Of course, the ranking system did get restarted on January. So it's kind of surprising that these guys have made it to this point in just 2 months,
that's why I'm like I
and
said,
they only have this many matches. That's
that's
what's
Yep.
why
shocking for me with these numbers. Because if we move down to the women, you know,
these
look at
the
Nyla
women
Rose
been
with
putting in
5 wins
work.
alone this in this 2 month stretch. 4 wins for Red Velvet. Some of them are dark wins, admittedly. Look at Britt Baker's record and Tay Conti. They've been more active. So when we comparing
Yep.
that to the rank system of the men, I just feel like these contenders, although they are, and it's legitimate because the way the rankings work, I don't feel like they're legitimate contenders. The only people that I would say are obviously John Moxley. If we're talking about AEW World Championship, John Moxley, Adam Page, and that's it.
No, we
The other
gotta
three,
throw.
the other three make sense for Darby, not
I
so
would
much for Kenny
I would
Omega's
say
championship.
personally, my son Lance Archer. Lance Archer,
Can't say your son Lance Archer because your son Lance Archer
Isn't even ranked.
isn't ranked. And that's
that's
my point of the
what
rank
that's what
system.
I'm saying.
It
No, no,
doesn't
no.
take
I'm
into
saying
consideration
I would
what
throw
you've
him
done.
in there. I would throw him right. I would throw him in there right after Page. Like Cody already admitted, he said it himself in an interview. He doesn't want nothing to do with the men's rankings title for the main title at all. He said if he does chase the title, it will be tag or it will be TNT. He doesn't want nothing to do with it. He just wants to be backstage and producing new talent. He admitted it himself recently, this couple of weeks. Miro been in a trash fucking storyline. We complained about it for the longest time. The debut was fire. The rollout was a surprise.
Was it?
Eh,
Was the debut really fire though?
It was when it happened. Now I'm like, all
That
right,
shit was whacked the next week.
like exactly.
Am I lying?
So
That shit was
the
whacked
only
next
thing,
week.
the only thing I see is that they building him as a beast. They not building him as you know what I mean. Like it should have been like it just the story he's in. It's
I'm
kind of
sorry, him feuding with the best friends has not showcased that he's a beast. The only time he's been showcased as a beast on AEW is that one night that he came out at the end of the show and cleared
he
the ring.
hasn't lost,
That was
bro.
it.
He hasn't lost on his singles or his tag team shit with Kip Sabian.
Hero's been around for a couple of months now, and he still hasn't done
He
enough
hasn't
to go
really
above the
lost.
ranks of someone like Cody Rhodes,
But
who just took a vacation.
he's not
Right. Let's keep
interesting.
it above. He just took a
He's not,
vacation and came
yeah,
back.
exactly.
Am I
He's not interesting. No.
am
That's
I
a fact.
lying? He can't even get above the rank of Cody Rhodes, who just came back from vacation.
So we could do something like I will put Lance Archer there, or like we could put fucking
We
a
have to
couple of
see.
people.
Honestly, we have to see. We have to let it like probably like another couple weeks go by, or let Revolution come and go to really see
You know what they need to do? They need to do a
the
top
real
25
rankings is
instead
gonna
of
look
a
like.
top 5.
What was that?
Instead of they need to do a top 25 instead of a top 5. Because I need to see who else is ranked and where.
Either
Because
that, or they
honestly,
need to just split this ranking, and have one rank for the World Championship and one rank for the TNT Championship. The fact that these two different divisions share the same top 5 makes no sense.
nah,
And when you take
You know what?
into consideration
You know what? You're
activity
absolutely
on the
right.
show, doesn't make sense.
And
all right,
you
so
know what? That's
so let's
exactly
let's
what
move
they
on
doing.
to the women's rankings. What do you guys think of the women's rankings so far?
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I feel it. I feel like it's very accurate as far as storyline and uh sports wise as well.
and who's
I think
also
this is probably
go ahead.
extremely like there's an extreme difference between the women's ranking and the men's ranking. This I look at it and I instantly see all of them are deserving because
Granted, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Rio was in the tournament, which makes her deserving, and she's we'll get more into the tournament. Britt Baker's been super active. Tay Conti super active. Renata Rose super active. This makes sense why everybody's in their position.
Like, yeah, and we're gonna get to it later, but Red Velvet and Nyla Rose and like the top 3 number 1 contenders for Sheeta all been really putting on great matches. All 3 of them. So I'm not even mad at this ranking, to
Yeah,
be honest.
I agree with
Yeah,
you.
I think it's very accurate as far as everything is concerned. I just wish that the men's ranking was just as accurate as this would be.
I think that the story that they're trying to portray between each other is what devalues their ranking. My opinion. I could be going out the window with all that shit, but that's how I feel. I don't think like they really you could put any one of the top 6 together in a match and they don't even have to promo, but I know the match will be fire. Or well, besides Britt, because Britt is probably like the best. She got the most personality out the group. I'm gonna keep it real. But you could put any 5 of them women together, and the shit will be a fire match. To be honest,
I
Yeah,
agree.
I don't think there's much to argue as far as this rank system right here.
All right, so let's move on to the tag teams.
what we doing with the tags? Oh my god, yo,
Something seems off.
Something is largely off here.
something seems off.
So you're telling me STU with 5-0 ain't even in the conversation of the tag team championships.
Jurassic Express, yo, come on.
How the fuck STU has more wins than Jurassic Express and they're not even in the tag team conversation? Because after this horrible inclusion of Chris Jericho and MJF into the tag team division, they're only talking about FTR with only 2 wins and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Mind you, we got Top Flight over here with a better record than FTR.
and Jericho and MJF. Oh my god.
It's horrible, bro.
Like
Bro.
this is proof of when you try
And
to
then
make something
Young
sports
Boy.
based
Yo, the
that
young boys
essentially
can't
is the
go for it.
story, and you lose balance of the two. If you're gonna have a rank system, have a rank system, but formulate the stories around the ranks. Why are Christopher Daniels and Kazarian getting all these dark wins and not even heavily featured on Dynamite, but they got the best record in the tag team division and they're not even in the conversation?
Devil's advocate, just to be, you know what I mean, petty as I always be, the petty god. You know what I mean? Go send your hate mail to me. I guess they already reached their peak. Christopher Daniels did say recently on a tweet that
And then
he's
look at the
winding
tab.
down.
One
Nah,
win.
he feels like he's winding down. So he don't give a fuck no more. Like at this point, him and Frankie are fucking just having fun. That's why you think Frankie's on BTE and all this dumb. They don't even care anymore. Like they just having fun. But in the ranking system aspect, they should be the number one contenders. I absolutely agree. Like
I
this
feel
is
like the Bucks or whoever made this booking decision kind of disrespected everybody else in this division by booking Chris Jericho MJF in that position, because it's obviously a storyline situation to keep the Bucks as champions longer. Are we really to believe Chris Jericho MJF are going to win the tag team titles?
Yes.
no.
No.
This is a breakup coming, bro. This is a breakup coming in a long run. This is good. This is gonna be the one that them two start arguing on, and then it's gonna be like another 4 weeks. And it's gonna be another
Oh,
fuck.
we're gonna have another fucking quarter of this unless they settle their feud.
We're gonna have another fucking dinner and fucking dance
You know
off.
what? They owe us blood and guts, and the arenas are starting to open.
Yo, they better give us a fucking blood and guts match if they're gonna do a rematch.
You know what they should have done?
Talk.
They should have had Proud and Powerful win the tag team titles, have them face against Chris Jericho and MJF at Revolution, have somebody lock Chris Jericho and Hager in somewhat in a room somewhere, right? So since Chris Jericho's not at the ring and MJF is, he tells Wardlow to come in. They win the tag team titles from Proud and Powerful. Wardlow and MJF leave with the tag team championships, and they leave in a circle. And then like Sammy was the one that opened the door for them, and they realized and they got to the ring too late.
You know what's crazy? That would have been fired.
Because so what, you put Sammy as a mold to be with MJF and Wardlow? That's what you said?
Nah. Sammy opened the door at the last second, trying to get Chris Jericho out in time, but by the time they got to the ring, it was already 3. And Wardlow won, and MJF won the tag team championships, and then they quit the inner circle and leave with the tag team championships.
You know what's crazy? I don't even see my people's Proud and Powerful on the list, and they've been winning on Dark, yo.
They haven't been on Dark in a minute.
Hell yeah, it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, nah, the last one I saw was
they only was on Dark 3 weeks about 3 weeks ago, just to promote that match that they had for the tag team title. Because I forgot who got injured. The best friends got injured and got knocked off the rank system. So the next week, Proud and Powerful got jumped up the rank system.
No, I seen them a couple of weeks later. They had a couple of matches on Dark, and they won both of them. And it was like 2 after that, way after that.
I just explained that whole situation.
The point is,
only like on Dark weeks ago, promoting their tag team championship match. Because
even more crazy?
Because when the best friends got injured, they got knocked off the rank system, and Proud and Powerful were in the rank in the top 5. The only reason they even got a match.
You know what's even more crazy looking at these rankings? The only odd couple out this group is Jericho and MJF. Everybody else makes sense as a tag team to go against the Bucks.
Yeah, Jericho's a damn tag team whore, and that's the rank system.
What's the next? That those are the three. Where's the
Yeah,
TNT ranking? Ain't no TNT.
it shared with the A. Yeah, you frustrated me, bro. Pay attention.
Nah, that why?
I literally just showed you.
Yo, we all play. Yo, viewers, we all play WWE 2K 2021 and all this dumb shit. It's two different divisions when it's the Intercontinental in the USA.
Yo,
And
focus. Did he really just miss like the
Yo.
5 minutes we spent talking about the AEW and TNT ranking system to come around and say the same as that shit we just said?
House way.
house.
With that being said, let's move on to Dynamite. Like,
House way.
Yo, y'all WWE 2K, y'all know what I'm talking about.
yeah, they got rank systems in WWE that separates every division. Right. You're correct. You're correct. Well, we're not talking about WWE
AEW, I need to do that in real life, man. Like, step your game up.
You know who technically
Y'all
should,
game be fired too. I saw y'all fucking pictures. Y'all taking pictures, poses.
you know which two tag teams should technically be on the ranking system? The Acclaimed and Bear Country.
They've been getting a lot of wins.
I like.
Why aren't they on the rank system? Bear Country, to my memory, has at least 3 back-to-back wins.
Like, yo, bro, I don't get it. I like the Acclaim too. I like
And the Acclaim.
and you know what? I think
man.
they're gonna push Max.
How the fuck Tough Light passed the Acclaim?
They've been featured on Dark in the past.
Now we're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to that later though.
All right. Anyways,
yeah.
so we starting off Dynamite, and it's a special Dynamite called Crossroads. Is leading to Revolution on Sunday. So we'll have a prediction show you guys can check out, and eventually a review episode for this Sunday's Revolution pay-per-view. So we get a little package showcasing everything, a little video in the beginning, but this leads straight into the first match of the night, which I was actually surprised was the first match of the night. Cody Rhodes, Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade Cargill. I thought this should have been main event, honestly. And then after actually watching the match, it should have been the main event. Like, I had no faith in this Shaq Jade storyline. It was whack. I felt like it kind of should have faded away when Brandy got pregnant. Instead, they put mini clone Brandy, Red Velvet to replace her. But so I was down on this whole situation from the beginning. But in hindsight, the match was great for a celebrity first match. You know, actually trying this like Shaq, somebody in his age, big guy like himself that is you know not as agile as the rest of these guys. He held his own. There was a couple, you know, sloppy moments where obviously he got to get better in his acting, but Cody Rhodes makes anybody look good. He made Shaq look good. Big spot in the match. Cody Rhodes ends up diving over the ropes, putting Shaq through 2 tables. So not only did he give us a decent match, he took tables.
He took a bump.
He took a crazy bump.
Yeah.
So that was good. Shout out to Shaq. I appreciate that. And this did exactly what I felt it should have done. It took Cody Rhodes and Shaq out of the picture and let Jade Cargill and Red Velvet shine for the rest of the match. This became a one-on-one, and Jade finally got to showcase, you know, her strength, you know, her just her overall ability. She looks like a star. She looks scary. She looked like she'll flex and like break something, but you
I'm gonna
know,
say that
she showed improved to me. She showed
I'm gonna
improved. What
say
you guys
this.
think about this match?
I was thinking about this. All right. Now, when I was like, remember, I went hard on Cargill. I was like, yo, she better be fire. Y'all been holding her back this long. Y'all don't want her throwing no punches. Y'all don't want her in the middle of y'all stories, whatever. There must be a reason Brandy Rose picked her and immediately threw her. She got a rocket ship on her back, right? Now, when the match started, obviously it was Cody and Shaq. I'm thinking, okay, you know what immediately popped in my mind? Immediately, what hopped in my mind? This is Matt. I swear I saw it this morning. This is the first thing I thought when I saw Shaq. Shaq, he's a basketball player, and fucking Cody Rhodes. All right, they doing the Stephanie and Triple H versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. Immediately, what I thought in my mind.
Yeah, that's
That
actually a great
means
comparison.
that means that she is gonna go in there and she's gonna show improve and show that the reason why she wants to be a wrestler and who she is. Because there was no point if Shaq is the biggest star, why the fuck are you gonna start? It doesn't make no sense at all. It should be the women who should start it. So
No,
they
but we don't expect Shaq to have a career now. We don't expect him to be an actual.
don't like yo. He's 50 years yo.
So this was
John,
always about Jade Cargill. That's why
yeah,
the fact that they took Shaq out, put him through the tables, took Cody out, and let them shine was genius booking. Honestly.
exactly. I'm like, yo, that shit threw me the way off. Shaq looking good. Shaq looking good.
With that crazy power bomb.
Yo, yo,
Yeah.
and then he did a salute. He did like a Razor Ramon or Kevin Nash salute, and it looked good. Like he looked like, and whoever trained him, good job. He was wearing his own sneakers, obviously, and yo, but shout out to Jade, yo. That's your first big match.
So I rank this match. I'll give it
This
an 8.
gotta be a 9. This is a 9.
No, that's not. It's not a 9.
It's a 9. It's a
I
9.
give it an 8. I give it an 8. It was. Come on, when we got matches like we're probably gonna see on Sunday, let's reserve these 9s and 10s. All right, let's reserve those 9s and 10s. This was an 8.
I liked it. I liked it because it was surprising, and then I did not expect to see how good Jade would be.
Yeah, but I can't. Me personally, the reason I'm giving it an 8 is because, despite the good debut of Shaq, despite the good debut of Jade Cargill, there was still some cracks in the armor. She's not, perfect. There was a couple green moments, and the same thing with Shaq. So I'm not gonna say that this was 9. 9 is damn near a classic.
I didn't expect Shaq to be the
This will
star.
definitely be one of those that are remembered because of Shaq's involvement. But as far as match quality, yeah, this was an 8.
All right.
If you see it as a 9, I mean that's your opinion, but I gotta say,
all right. So I'll give
Focus is the tiebreaker.
I give it a 7.
Give it a 7.
Right,
so
it's an 8. It's an 8 all
about
around.
an 8. It's about an 8.
8 all around. I'm very impressed though, Jade Cargill. Like you really, the expectation was warranted, and you really earned your spot. And hopefully you could do something for this women division, change the game.
Yeah.
And they gave you a rocket moon with Shaq, one of the biggest names in the world.
Rocket moon.
Like, yo, you got the fucking biggest dude co-signing you in sports entertainment.
There's gonna be a lot more to see for Jade Cargill. Let's move on to the next match of the evening, which was Pac and Ray Phoenix versus John Skyler and the Death
D3.
Was D3? Yeah, the
D3.
Death Triangle, Pac and Ray Phoenix versus John Skyler and D3. I don't know who D3 is.
D3 is somebody from
and
WXW.
Okay.
He's been featured on Dark in the past. So has John Schuyler.
This was just a fucking squash match. Like,
but
it wasn't even enough to describe. Like, that's how quick the match moved.
nah, it was like a good 5-8 minutes. But yo,
Oh,
Pac,
no,
they
They
what?
just, they just started. They just started with a super kick, and
The
next thing
bell
you know,
sound. They 2 minutes. It was like 2 minutes, bro. And it
yo,
was
he went
Pac
out there, he did
and
like a
Phoenix.
splash or something. Like he did like Pac did like a reverse splash, and then Ray
This shit
Phoenix
wasn't
going
squash.
crazy.
This was like 2 minutes, bro.
It was what it was. Like they just got their spots in and got the fuck out of there. It's like
But Pac and Ray Phoenix with the win, as they should. I mean, this looked like it should have been on Dark instead of Dynamite. Honestly,
yeah,
definitely it
um,
was too quick.
yeah.
it
So
was.
I'll give this a 5. What do you guys give it?
I'm I'm uh, I'm with you. I'm 5'6".
I'm gonna give it a 7.
A 7?
Just on the just on the simple fact that I like the way Pac and Ray Phoenix was booked here. Taking them quick, easy, and out. It's just this wasn't a match for Dynamite.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it
I
was a
agree with
match for
that.
Dynamite. So let's move
It
on
wasn't
quickly
a match
to
for Dynamite.
we have the Inner Circle press conference, which at first didn't make sense because it looked the way they were seated, it looked like MJF and Jericho were like opposing each other in like a debate or something. So I was kind of confused. But they basically were at a podium taking questions from a bunch of random podcasts. This segment, until the second part of it, was actually pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
We had different guys coming up. We had Conrad, what's his name?
Thompson.
Conrad Thompson from Grilling JR. We had Eric Bischoff with his podcast. He called MJF calls Conrad turkey tits. That shit, that shit had me dying. I can't lie. I started definitely laughing out loud on that one. They start questioning him about Papa Buck and stuff. We had Proud and Powerful in the ring, supporting them, which I don't know. Like I don't feel like Proud and Powerful should have doubled down with their support. Once Sammy told them, what was it, last week or the week before, you guys aren't even the tag team in the Inner Circle. And
Yeah.
it looked like, I think that was on BTE. It looked like Santana opened his eyes in that moment. He told Ortiz, like, yo, you heard what he said? And it's like, yo, it's true. I thought they'll start waking up, but they kind of doubled down on their support, talking filthy, in support of MJF and Jericho. This eventually leads to the Young Bucks interrupting, and this is where the entertainment factor kind of like died down for me. It was like more of the same shit, honestly.
The
You
bus
guys
came
wanna
out.
you guys wanna describe?
Talking about MJF and Rosie O'Donnell and stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of that joke, bro. We seen it already. We just seen that shit like 3 weeks ago with Max Caster doing the rap video and the whole video using freaking MJF, the whole clip pretty much made a beat out the clip. The joke is getting tired. And Matt, when he said it, he really looked like he enjoyed it. Like, ooh, I just said a real good zinger. And it's like the Bucks is I won't take nothing away from the Bucks in the ring, but they're getting corny.
The joke was trash. But and then like I said, I said this a couple of weeks ago. Like, I'm getting tired of these family angles, yo. It's always about my family. I'm doing it for my family, or my family got beat up, or you disrespecting my family, and all this stupid shit. And now last week, I jumped their pops, and now all of a sudden, they had to go through the whole shit. My father was a good dad, and all this.
Oh my
dumb.
god, yeah, like
I'm tired of these family angles, yo.
Not only that,
this
storyline.
I did it with Kushida.
They had a whole
did it with
quarter.
Kevin Owens. Yeah, doing it here with the Bucks. Like, yo, find a new angle.
These
Like,
niggas,
yo, I'm
these
just
niggas
better
had a
than you.
whole quarter
I can't do that.
to build up Jericho MJF versus the Bucks, and they stuffed this personal storyline
Yeah,
in 2
always
weeks.
do this.
It's
Why
only been
everything
2
gotta
weeks.
be personal?
The go home show is the 3rd week. It just got personal last week, and you only got into a storyline with each other. They've been juggling all this. Luke Gallows and Anderson. Are they with the Bucks? Are they with not the? Are they with the Bucks or not with the Bucks? Bullshit. And speaking of them, a brawl breaks out between the Inner Circle and the Bucks. We end up seeing Gallows Anderson come out, set up some tables. Pride and Powerful end up getting put through the fucking tables. Like, like.
Anyway, this segment
I'm over it.
2.
Your pay-per-views are built up over a quarter of programming. That's 3 months of programming to get to your pay-per-views. We should be caring a lot more about the MJF and Jericho versus the Bucks situation than everything else surrounding it. The Bucks have been in more storyline with this bullshit reincarnation of the Bullet Club and what's happening with Impact and all that shit and Kenny than they have been focused on the number 1 contenders. And then they're not even the real number 1 contenders according to our fucking ranking system. Let's put a pin on that real quick. Let's take a quick break to our sponsors. The people keep the lights on, keep the Kayfabe Avenue train moving.
On the pop.
And we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. We left off with the Inner Circle and the whole situation with the Young Bucks. In short, I felt it was good. For the most part, the brawl, but the story, I'm just not sold on the story at all. I just want every aspect of their situation over and done with already. I want MJF to already break up or do whatever power move he's trying to do already. I want to see Pride and Powerful separate themselves from the Inner Circle already. Whatever Jake Hager's role is going to be, I want to see it happen already. Like, this whole story was trash. This whole buildup was trash to me.
I'm just tired of the family angle, man. Like, yeah, I always gotta throw a family angle, like
for no reason.
Like both companies. I'm not just trying to shit on AEW. I'm just tired of it, man. Like, we've seen it all the time. We've just seen it with Johnny and Kushida.
See, but the difference with WWE, a lot of the time they do family angles. It makes fucking sense. Why? Because they're
but they always gotta bring that up.
Look at the situation in WWE. Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair, father, daughter. Both
That's active. Different. That's different. They both was wrestlers.
Both active, all right?
They both
Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio made sense because Rey is putting his next generation.
But that's what I'm saying. That's different. Those are different.
You look at AEW angles. We don't need any of that family shit on nothing. Whether it's Miro and the wedding and all this shit, or it's bringing Papa Buck's horrible acting into it.
Yeah, or fucking the best friend's mama with the van.
Was funny though. I enjoy that.
Yeah, but it's like, yo, yo, both of y'all is overdoing it. Do something else to make us interested. We tired of these
they've been not paying attention to each other for so many weeks in a 3-month cycle that I guess they did need Papa Buck to have any kind of personal shit.
They needed to do something because.
So the last one was when the best friends. Versus
the match is gonna be good. I already know, but the story. Let's rush through this fucking story. Get it over with. After Revolution, I want to see the demise of the Inner Circle because this current run it's in. I feel like it diminished Chris Jericho as the champion he is. I feel like it did nothing for Hager. Sammy Guevara, while he was a standout, it really did nothing for Sammy Guevara because he was taking all the L's for everybody. the multiple versions of the tag teams that they had that went nowhere, the overlooking of Proud and Powerful as the tag team in the fucking group to begin with, the
And I
inclusion
want
of
to
MJF and his bodyguard for no fucking reason, because Jericho knows from day one.
Jake Hager versus Warlow. I want to see that.
Stupid. We had it. We had it.
No, I want to see a real official match.
We had it. One-on-one. Straight up.
That's
We
it.
had it. Hager lost. We saw it.
Nah, I want to see it for real.
I seen it.
So let's move on. They had a special look at the upcoming exploding barbed wire death match between Kenny Omega and John Moxley. They had old highlights of death matches from Japan. So really building up that story. The actual match type. But the next matchup we had was FTR with Tully Blanchard, who hasn't fucking wrestled in 13 years, they said, versus Jurassic Express. Now, the surprise factor of it all was
JJ Dillon came out.
JJ Dillon. Not only that, they were wearing the original NWA championships.
Yep.
So what's going on there? Like, Tony, did you buy NWA? Like, is it official now? Like,
no, that's Tully's old NWA television title belt.
JJ Dillon, yep. That's Tully and JJ Dillon.
Wouldn't that be a copyright issue between NWA?
And, ain't nobody care.
What's going on here? Like, do you own every? Do you own every indie promotion
on them now? Like,
they
every
got Thunder Rosa showing up every 5 minutes. So it's like, you think they're gonna care about Tully bringing the old title out?
That shit was fire.
Is on her paper.
That shit was fire. That was real 4 Horsemen swag. The matchup, I feel like it was pretty good. They went a pretty long time. Tully actually got in the ring.
He did a screenshot.
He did it.
Suplex off the rope onto the back. Like, you know
that
what I mean?
Man is showing. I'm scared. I'm scared now because I'm scared that a man like Tully wrestling in his age, Ric Flair is somewhere in the mirror, wooing to himself and slapping himself in the chest, saying he has one more run in it.
He's not doing
that. Woo! I think
all he gotta do is just go in the closet and body bag. No, because he could just go in the closet and body bag AEW with the suit game. Like, he could body bag anybody. Like, we not doing.
Watch Rick win the WWE Championship.
The suit game.
Like, what?
Watch Rick win the WWE Championship to be the 7-time champion.
He's gonna beat Bobby Lashley in the roll up.
Yo, I'd be tight. I'd be so tight.
You know what? I wouldn't give a fuck because I'm tied. He doesn't need to be tied with John Cena. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be happy.
So during the matchup, we get a mystery match, man.
It was a good match.
I thought that was vacant at first.
Yeah, I thought it was vacant too because it looks exactly like vacant.
Yep.
But
shout out to Vacant, the Hall of Fame. That's actually who I thought Tony Khan was referencing. Yeah, Vacant.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. So we get the masked man interfering and helps FTR and Tully Blanchard pull off the win. When the guy pulls off his mask, it's a now bleach blonde Sean Spears returning. But not only was that, we finally get the first time Sean Spears is acknowledged with FTR, with Tully Blanchard. We have JJ Dillon in the ring. Everyone is throwing up the 4 Horsemen sign. We have Arn Anderson come from the back. I think this is the first time I might consider him in the barbecue or getting close to being invited for the first time. Arn Anderson comes out, throws up the Horsemen.
Not yet.
We might have our new version of the 4 Horsemen official in AEW.
Not yet.
He got a lot to go. He got a lot more of supporting Lee Johnson and the rest of the Nightmare family before I let him back in. Worst manager ever.
You gotta help Cody when Cody's getting his ass whipped more. Like
Nah, he be
something
passing the blood capsules like Cody, it's time to bleed.
but
Well, I'll tell you.
Yo, I thought it was a dope match. I give it like a 7.5. Like
Yeah, I'll give it a
Ali
7.5,
actually did
8.
great. You know what I mean for his
Just
show, and I thought
just the hype surrounding the entrance and the reveal at the end and the formation of what seems to
and
be
that was a good
that was dope.
swerve at the end. So that means that this story is going to continue. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to let this bullshit go. And I think the whole point was because a lot of things that they were talking about in commentary, I want to make a note of, is that they were putting over Jungle Boy Jack Perry, like especially JR. He was like, "Oh, Jungle Boy is just athletic, and oh, he could take this and blah blah
Do you
blah."
think them coming out with
I think
some of these
they
old
ready to.
tag titles? Do you think that those titles are gonna be defended moving forward on the upcoming um AEW Elevation show?
Nah.
You think that was
It
just a
might
one
be
off?
in the pre-show or
The
something.
current because this current NWA tag team champions.
But these could be on Elevation.
The current champions or the old belts?
The old belts.
Nah.
The current
I don't think-
NWA tag team
Because
champions.
they're not the
champions haven't
official
been on-
they're not the official
It's
champions.
not legitimate to AEW until they officially make the announcement that they got something going on with.
I mean, it
NWA.
might be he could sanction them titles. He could do whatever he want at this point.
Nah,
Especially
but
with
I don't
the
want
amount
to
of partnerships
if
he's
that's
been
the
building.
case, I don't want to see them win it, and then they got to go over there, and we're not gonna be seeing them all the time over here.
We already having that problem with people jumping on Impact and shit.
Yeah, but Rosa,
FYI, I refuse to watch Impact. I will watch the clips to find out what's going on. As
No,
y'all could not, y'all
nah,
can
but
let me
at the
know what's
same
going on.
Rosa was still coming over here. Serena Deeb is the women's champion, and she's only on Dark though. She's not over here taking main event spots. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, she is.
She
was on Dynamite like a couple weeks ago.
That's fine, but she's not there every fucking week.
It seems like it. Wasn't she facing Thunder Rosa for the title at one point? Then she faced Sheeta for the title at one point.
Who is
and
then she
like,
won
yo,
it from Rosa.
and that's just this year.
She won it from Rosa. No.
I lost track. Who are you guys speaking of?
We're talking about the NWA.
Serena.
Women.
Yeah, Serena's been active. What are you talking about?
No,
He's always on Dynamite.
We're talking about with the titles, like Serena Deeb. I will give her that.
The
and
NWA titles featured more than the AEW Women's
That's
Champion.
what I'm saying.
I will give that, but that's because Sheeta beat everybody. I don't want to see the Jurassic Express win the NWA tag team titles, and then they not gonna get more shine. They definitely not gonna get more shine than the fucking Young Bucks.
AEW is getting a lot more
That's my argument.
Like they're making a new show on Elevation, which segues.
Then I won't have a problem.
Situation. We got Tony Schiavone introducing.
Like if they want to do that over there, they could do that.
Let's move on. Tony Schiavone introduces Paul White, who pretty much starts teasing another AEW signing. That segues into the conversation we was talking about. Big Show is gonna be commentating and possibly featured on that show, Elevation. So pretty much he's just out there. It's the first time we see him on Dynamite on AEW television, period. Gives his pretty much debut speech of what's his intentions, and I appreciate that he didn't shit on WWE, that he didn't act like it was a tainted legacy or something over there. It was just all about AEW and what he wants to do moving forward. So good promo from him, and he got the world buzzing. Who is the person that is going to be signed on Sunday at Revolution?
CM Punk.
I'm thinking Brock Lesnar or CM Punk, probably, yeah. But there's two people.
I wanted to wait to the prediction show, but I'm gonna say here it's CM Punk.
All right, let's
All right.
let's move on from that. Let's move on from that.
No.
We'll talk more about that on the prediction
Say
show.
my two predictions.
Oh Lord, is this the prediction show?
This is my two predictions.
Two? You only get one. You only get one, man.
No, you just
Only one prediction.
You just did
No,
two.
we on our time. We on.
I did two.
Let's
When
move
did
this
I did
along.
two?
You just said CM Punk or Brock Lesnar.
I didn't say Brock Lesnar. I said CM Punk.
He says CM Punk. I said I agree or Brock Lesnar.
Christian or Kurt Angle. Those are my
Christian
two.
signed to WWE. Let's move on.
Right. We have AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. Nyla Rose versus Ryu Mizunami, which possibly was arguably the match of the night.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, this was a great match.
Very good match.
So honestly,
why you have a problem with it, EA?
I didn't expect Rio to be the
That's
winner.
what I'm saying, like y'all talking about when we was in the text group that y'all fell asleep halfway during the ending. I'm like, yo, you kidding me? Like there was a couple of good matches.
This is not the ending, and I didn't say that either.
No, this was the second half.
Second half. I saw the whole show.
This was dope.
This was arguably the match of the night. Arguably, I personally would put the Shaq Jade Cargill debut for the simple fact it was a great debut for a celebrity,
and it was entertaining.
It was entertaining, and it showcased Jade Cargill exactly how I wanted her to be showcased. And she showed improvement. Few quirks aside, I didn't give it the greatest of highest rating. I gave it an 8. I didn't make it a classic, but that's why I think it was match of the night for me, because I was very low on this match. This match right here, Ryo Mizunami versus Nyla Rose, I kind of expected a good match, period. But I think it did what is needed. This was the final.
That guillotine leg drop was crazy.
Yeah. This was the finals of the tournament. Ryu ends up picking up the win. And then Shida comes out. Shida comes out and presents her the tournament trophy. And, of course, this makes her the number 1 contender to Shida's title. And this was the only part that was cringe for me. They tried to do the old classic. Yeah, I give you respect, but we gonna fight. And it was awkward as shit. It's like, did y'all understand each other's language? Like, usually there's a language barrier between the Joshis and the American wrestlers, but it looked like the same issue between the two Joshis.
You know what made it more cringe? If you really watch it close, they gave each other 5 with the left. and that's when they started fighting. That's when they started punching. I'm like, I made
they're from the other side of the planet where things are mostly reversed.
The multi-universe.
No, Mysterioso wasn't on Dark this week.
The far East Coast.
So
they gave each other 5 with the left when Sheeta presented her the trophy. And I'm like, oh my God. That's already good.
They were here like, so are we gonna do something? Then the girl goes, Rio goes to punch, and it's like, wait, did you punch me? Oh shit, let me react now, and then I'm gonna punch you back. And it was like, y'all try to do the classic start up the brawl, and it was horrible. The match though, I give it about an 8.
Yo, I give it an 8. I never heard of this woman before.
I was surprised she won.
Yeah, and I saw a couple of the matches from the tournament, and I thought she was good, but I didn't think she was this good. And her holding her own with Nyla Rose.
I definitely know this was Kenny Omega's decision. Had to be.
Kenny Olivier.
Now that the Joshis can integrate with the roster, he's definitely going to be pushing more Joshis.
Yep. Yeah, he loved the Josies. Like,
so guess what's next, guys?
This is a good match.
Dang!
It's Sting! And yeah, that's kind of like run down already, Tony. But we get Sting out, and they're talking about pretty much the whole build up between him, Darby, Brian Cage, Team Taz, the whole situation, and just another fucking segment that
Yo, let
seems
me
like we've
ask you
seen
a
this shit
question.
already. It was cringe to me. This is why it's cringe. How many fucking weeks are you gonna have Brian Cage? You're gonna have Will Hobbs. You're gonna have Ricky Starks. You're gonna have Hook. You're gonna have Taz out there. And this skinny motherfucker over here, Darby Allin and old ass Sting are not only running them off, but beating them down and making them like knocked
Bro,
out and bro, how many times are we
that's
gonna
what
see
I
Taz
said.
just stand there?
How many times you're gonna have the same promo?
I mean, I think it's honestly, I feel the psychology. Maybe they don't want Darby Allin and Sting to shoot up the whole stadium and such. So, you know,
This is my
Yo,
problem.
we saw the
This is
same
the biggest.
promo.
Listen, this is the biggest problem. Let me get this off. I got bars right now. Let me get this off. The biggest problem with this segment, how is the son of Taz, the guy who uses the Taz mission, submission specialist, suplex machine, all this, how you can't get a simple sleeper on Sting while he's already on the floor?
dang.
Can I say my bars?
You're telling me you don't have a Taz mission? You're telling me Taz didn't teach you how to use that sleeper correctly?
Nah.
This is disrespectful to me and this wrestling business. Nah, but I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
We saw the same promo. Yo, how many times we're gonna have Tony Schiavone introduce Sting?
Dang.
How many
times they trying to hit that 55 demographic with Sting and Tony Schiavone?
We're gonna have the same promo where Sting don't get to finish what the fuck he gotta say.
What happens when pay-per-views are quarterly.
How many times are we gonna have Darby Allin save the day? Or how many times is Darby Allin gonna get kidnapped? Or he's gonna disappear, the niggas in a body bag, and all this stupid shit. Like, how many times they fucking up the backstage? Like, yo,
it's the same shit over and over.
We already know. We hype enough. We're waiting.
I know somehow, some way, Sting is gonna probably pull off this fucking win because it's Sting's debut match.
Bang.
But now Sting,
but Team Taz needs to fucking beat the shit out these dudes. Team Taz needs to win.
But let me say,
you got Will Hobbs. It's a street fight. But you got Will Hobbs. You got 5 guys in your team.
But
this should be a fucking run through.
But let me say this: for the younger viewers, you gotta understand. Now they putting Sting in a pedestal. He's this icon and all this shit. He can't go like he used to go when we was coming up. So now all of a sudden we expected him to come out and get a spectacular match because we so invested in him defeating these guys that he's gonna go out there and just pull out his bat from his fucking coat and beat the shit out of all of them. Y'all already ran it way too much. And y'all fucking up the viewers shit. And then when he come out, he be underwhelming. Now I hope he does good. I just want him to do good. But now we already expected him to be underwhelming, us older fans. But as younger fans, we want him to come out there and be the best ever now. He better be the next Hulk Hogan and shit. Like, y'all looted it way too long.
He should not. I mean, I'm just a fan at the end of the day. He's gonna want to come out.
All 3 of us, fans.
He's gonna want to come out and finish his career on his terms, and that's fine. Whatever.
Like
my concern is him getting hurt and just trying to justify the ending of his career. Same shit that was happening to Undertaker. I will say that, and I love Undertaker. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. Period.
Yo, yeah,
he was another one. I wanted chill out, and even if you want to be around, you could have just been Darby's. You could have just been Darby's manager. Now look at we're in the quarter. We're in the we took a whole quarter to get here to Revolution.
But yeah,
what's happening with the TNT title at Revolution?
Y'all did the same shit though.
Answer my question, E, before you change. What's happening to the TNT championship at Revolution?
Nothing.
Yo, Darby versus Sting after the match. Sting turned.
Gosh, let's move on before we drag this shit. Just like they dragged this shit too. We got the face of the Revolution ladder match qualifier, the last spot, outside of the mystery spot, which is gonna be a new signing. So we're gonna have two possible signings at Revolution. That shit got us really wondering. But Max Caster versus 10 of the Dark Order. So it could have been a great match, but we end up having Matt Hardy pay off Hybrid 2 to cost 10 the match. And there goes that.
No, we're not gonna do that. It was actually a good match, though.
It was pretty good.
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing crazy.
It was fast.
It was a 7.5.
In this 2-hour show, they only had 2 matches that really gave a lot of time.
And
I agree. But this wasn't like it wasn't nothing crazy. I'm glad Max Caster is actually getting his own solo.
Yeah, Max Caster ends up winning the qualifier. He deserves it. He's been real charismatic, a big part of Dark, been a good highlight on Dynamite whenever he's on. He's a weird dude, but it works. It's like Goldust meets Thugonomics.
Shout out Scorpio Sky on commentary because he was hilarious.
Oh yeah, pushing himself.
Yo, is he ill now? Because he was talking mad shit.
No, he's not ill. He was just like focus on me. I'm gonna be
the
face of Revolution.
He's always Ric Flair.
He needs to talk like that. Scorpio Sky broke off from SU to do what?
Nothing. He got injured.
That's like if Big E left New Day to sit in catering.
Yeah, so
put
him on fucking commentary. Like, so I
get a little, package.
Shout out Scorpio, you know what I mean? We fucks with you over here.
Yeah, we got a little package from the best man Miro, also talking about the Revolution and his matchup against the Best of Friends.
Oh my goodness.
One of the better promos from Miro, I'll say that, but that's all I gotta say.
Oh man, like
I'm tired of this storyline. Next.
Me too. Next, Matt Hardy and Matt Quinn versus John Silver and Hangman Adam Page. This was probably the most interesting match or segment outside of the actual Shaq and women's match. We had some interference going on with Big Money Matt's stable that he's forming. It looks like he has a lot of people involved. We end up seeing -1 come out. We get this big brawl. The match overall was pretty decent, but all hell pretty much breaks loose, and it kind of took the steam out of it for me because it was like this was about Dark Order. This was about Dark Order and Hangman Page and the Matt Hardy build up and their big money match for everything. Why the fuck did a whole bunch of jobbers come out at the end? Why the fuck did the whole bunch of randoms that got thrown together in this tag team battle royal?
That's who Matt paid off.
Nah, that's the people that's gonna be in that battle royal.
That makes more sense, but that would make more sense. But the way they said in a commentary exactly, EA was the contestants of the tag team battle royal are coming out. For what?
I gotta go back and hit it, but then they fucked up on commentary. That wasn't.
No, that was who came out. That the pre-show dudes came out.
Because I know Pride and Powerful is in that battle royal, and there's a couple of tag teams. So maybe I don't know. JR,
we have the pre-show match close the go home show to the pay-per-view? The free match? The one
Yep.
they give on the one
No,
they give away on
let me ask you
YouTube?
a question. Did they establish what you win if you win the match though?
I'm
Like
assuming
that,
number one contendership because the rank system doesn't
You
make sense.
get a revolution ring.
like MJF won last year.
Nah, he's not serious. He's not serious.
No, I'm asking a serious question.
I think you get a number one contendership. Which shoots over the entire tag team division and the rank system, which we showcased earlier in the show.
And all three of us know that motherfuckers, the tag teams, because Pride and Powerful's in there. I seen Pride and Powerful in there. I seen John Silver and Alex. Like, come on, like you got a bunch of tag teams in a battle royal. Obviously, we know that the tag teams is not gonna win. Like,
so what did you guys think about the overall show in entirety?
It was pretty good, right? I'll give it like a 6.
I thought it was good.
I agree with Focus. I think it was around a 6.5.
I'm not
while it was entertaining in certain parts, and I did like the Four Horsemen stuff, which pretty much got me the most interested outside of the 2 matches that I felt were good. The rest of the stuff was just a bunch of shit I've been tired of. So, and then the way they closed the show just didn't make sense to me. So, yeah, I give it a 6.5 for me. What about you, E?
I'll give it a 7.5. I liked it. I actually watched it this morning, and I really thought that this was like a better go home show than a lot of go home shows that we've seen recently. You know what I'm saying? When we review shit. And I guess they tried. I
disagree.
I'm just tired. I'm just tired.
You know why I disagree?
Angles.
This is why I disagree.
And let me finish, bro. Let me finish my buzz.
But go quick, please.
I'm gonna go quick. I'm just tired of the same angles that these people using, man. Like both sides.
But that's wrestling in general. How many times we're gonna see the same angles over and over?
So can I get the real bars off?
That.
You know why this was a trash go home show?
Why?
Where the fuck was Kenny Omega?
Kenny Olivier.
Where was John Moxley?
Go.
Where was the heavyweight championship? Where was the main event?
Don DeMarco.
How is this a good show? This was a decent show. But where was the main event? Where was what was supposed to sell people to buy this pay-per-view?
Don DeMarco.
Then the second highlight of the show, right? Because they could have saved Jay Cargill and Shaq for Revolution, but instead they gave away this match on the go home show. So the second most important match is what? Hangman and Big Money Matt, right? But it ended with a bunch of people from the pre-show.
And you know what's crazy?
It lost its importance with a whole bunch of randoms.
That wasn't better than the girls one.
Because they had nothing else to do.
That wasn't better than the girls one with Nyla Rose and Rio.
like should we go on? This was not a good go home show. It wasn't.
7.5. I like
the whole last hour didn't matter about Revolution, really.
Yeah, all right.
The only thing in the last hour that mattered was the qualifying of Max Caster. That's it. That's all that mattered. And we saw what happened. We saw how quick that was.
It was over.
You had a chance, instead of getting these random pre-show guys, you had a chance to not only showcase 10, but showcase Max Caster a little bit more. You could have gave more time to that. Instead, you have these fucking segments that fucking run on and get convoluted with bullshit. Why we had Sting and Darby cut the same promo this week and waste time on that when 5 guys can't take out a fucking veteran and a rook. You can't take them two guys out with two of the biggest guys in the entire roster. Shall I go on? Really, shall I go on? This was a 6. And off the pure fact that as a viewer, casual fan, someone who's just there to watch, yeah, it had interesting segments. It had things to move along. But if you're trying to sell me on buying the pay-per-view this Sunday, I'd be like, nah, I'll see the highlights next Wednesday. Why? When the death match wasn't even showcased, didn't close the show. The build-up for Kenny Omega. And let's talk about that. We have about 5 minutes.
Hold on.
Let's talk about that.
Hold on, because I know our time is running low. I'm gonna just say this though. They did have like a little 10-15 minute special right after Dynamite. They were promoting it all night.
We're not talking about the special.
No. About the death match and the John Moxley.
That is irrelevant. Let's scratch that from even. Forget what he just said. Forget what he just said. We're talking about the 2 hours of Dynamite. Let's stop making excuses for them. Let's stop giving them. Let's stop giving them ropes. Let's stop giving them ropes to climb back up from their convoluted bullshit storylines. Let's stop giving them rope, bro. You're giving them an excuse. If I did not see Dynamite at 10 and at 8 and I chose to watch NXT and I saw the replay, they're not showing me the post show. They're not showing me the preview show. They're showing me Dynamite, the 2-hour programming block that was supposed to be the go-home show that you gave a 7.5. Come on, it's not a good go-home show. The selling point of you're telling me, and that little segment that we talked about, building up the death match, didn't even have Kenny Omega in it. They were showing Japanese death matches.
No, they were talking about why it's so dangerous. Like, yo, go back. You got.
Yeah, they did. I don't have to go back. I watched the show live. They talked about the death match, yes, but they showed clips of Japanese death matches.
No, there
was maybe a few seconds of their little death match from a year ago. That's it. But where was Kenny the champion? Where was John Moxley? Where were they? They've been so busy.
Honestly,
been so busy with Japanese. And
honestly, I'm gonna put it out there right now. The fact that Kenny wasn't in this episode made me rank this episode higher than what it should have been. I'm gonna put it like that. Just saying.
He's been a sore point. He's been a sore point. I can see that.
So
I can see why. I can see why he says that, because he's been a sore point. His championship run so far has been
less is more, right?
His championship run has been so convoluted.
Right? Like
Impact with Moxley defending the New Japan title for the Good Brothers, for the Elite, for the Young Bucks, all this bullshit, but we didn't get John Moxley and Kenny Omega face to face, but like one time.
That I agree with. They should have at least had a face-off. The press conference bullshit should have been Moxley and Kenny. That I actually agree with.
This shit was not a good go-home show. This shit was not a good go-home show. It was a 6. It was a regular show. It was not special. You could put a title in front of in the back. You could put a title in the back of that Dynamite and call it.
I did like,
and it could still be a regular ass show.
This is my only argument to that, because I know our time is short right now. My only argument is the matches that actually did matter was fire though. Like
but is that fair? Is that fair to
everything else was mostly promos?
Okay, so
they were like 5-minute matches.
So for an example, hold on, let me get it off, bro. For an example, if I go to McDonald's and I only like one thing on the menu, everything is hot garbage. Is that franchise fire?
Oh my goodness!
Any place.
That's not a good analogy, bro. Try another one.
How that's not a good analogy? If you could go to any restaurant and only one item on the whole entire menu is good, Is that is that an A restaurant? Is that a high class restaurant? No.
I mean, that's based on your opinion, though.
But in general, anything you could put. If they give you, all right, 9 segments, let's say, right? How many segments was in the show? About 9 to 10 segments, right? If only 3 out of 10 is good. If 3 out of 10 is good and 3 out of 10 only makes sense,
bro. There was mass segments too that was irrelevant or they were trash. Like,
bro, the only thing that mattered on this show was the FTR shit that has nothing to do with Revolution.
Granted, which was
the Eliminator tournament, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't even that's not happening at Revolution. Shida versus Ryu, right?
Yes, it is. That's the
is
point.
it? It is okay. So that makes sense. So those are the 2 things that happened good. That match, the Tully segment, and Shaq, which has nothing to do with Revolution.
And then everything else,
bro. 2 out of those 3 fire segments that we agreed made the show worth it. 2 out of 3 of those don't even matter for Revolution. How is this a good go home show? So,
and we're back
after the technical difficulty. We're running over time. We have to bring it back real quick.
Oh, we gotta do overtime.
He wants to answer that question. How is this a good go home show?
It's not.
He said, right, that 4 out of the 8 matches that we have are.
I didn't say that.
What I tell me exactly what you just said.
I said 2 matches and 3 segments, right? Cody Rhodes. That was a great part. That was a great part of this show, right? The Cody Rhodes shit.
Yeah.
Next segment, Pac, Phoenix in a squash match that should have been on Dark.
We're not worried about that.
The Inner Circle press conference. That story's been trashed, been convoluted. The beginning of it was funny. The end of it, trash. We're still at 1. Right? Especially with the barbed wire death match that didn't really showcase Kenny or Mox pretty much at all.
1. That's the barbed wire.
We're still at 1. FTR and Tully versus Jurassic Express. That's where we get to. Right? That's where we finally get to. We're already more than halfway through the show, FYI.
Continue, brother.
Right? Because that match incorporated the whole segment with the 4 horsemen, etc. Maybe you want to count Paul White showing up, but it was nothing special.
Nah, nothing's crazy.
The AEW Women's Eliminator match.
2 for me. Go ahead.
All right.
Which counts for Sunday, because that's where I'm counting.
That's 3. I counted it. That's 3. There's 3 segments, including matches. 3 segments, including matches.
The FTR shit don't matter. The FTR
but it doesn't matter. But it was a good segment. Yeah. But look, 2 out of the. That's why I said my previous statement was 2 out of the 3 that we mentioned don't matter
for
Revolution. That's Cody.
This is the go home show.
That's Cody.
That's what I'm basing
FTR. I'm counting all the wins tonight. Cody, FTR, the Women's Eliminator, right?
Don't
the
have
Women's
nothing
Eliminator
going
so
on
far is the
Sunday.
only match that impacted Revolution, right?
But they don't have nothing going on for Sunday.
The Taz situation, trash. And I explained that. I won't get into detail. The Max Caster versus 10 was a squash match. I'm not counting that.
No, but
well, it wasn't a squash match. It was a quick match that got interfered.
That counts for
it
Sunday.
Counts, but was it good?
No,
that was fire to you.
Ending? No. The match was
like I said, 3 wins. Let's move on.
I mean, the match was 7
overtime. 3 wins only so far. Now we're at Miro's promo. Now we're at Matt Hardy and John Silver, and we just explained how that went down. 3 wins and how many segments, bro? This was not a good fucking go home show.
It's 5.
So the pay.
You know what? I'm going back. It's a 5.
It was not a good go home show. I rest my case. We can do this all day. With that being said,
crackers.
EA, where can they find you?
Yeah, I know where y'all can find me. I'm on Twitter.
Gotta move it along, brother.
ETOPA. I guess he shut me down. I didn't even get to get my bars off.
What bars are left? You
Like,
agreed to
yo,
everything I just said.
This week, send your hate mail to him now. Like,
Yo, wrap that shit up, B.
For real, focus. Bring the wrap it up box.
Wrap
Like,
it up.
yo, son, like,
They
yo,
can find him
like,
at E.A on Twitter. You can find Focus. Where can they find you?
at Senshi_Muyo and, you know, Animal Crackers.
You could they not sponsoring
Animal
us.
Crackers.
Scratch that. They don't sponsor us. You can find me and you can find us collectively at Kayfabe Avenue on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Join the group, join the conversation, as heated as it can be. Join the conversation, like, share, subscribe on the YouTube. Speaking of subscribe, hit that support link on Anchor, hit that support link on Apple, on all streaming platforms. You can find us at Kayfabe Avenue. So subscribe, keep the lights on, keep this Kayfabe Avenue train moving. I have been Kayfabe AJ. That has been E.A and Kayfabe Focus. This has been the Dynamite wrap up, and this has been Kayfabe Avenue. That being said, since Kenny was absent on this show, maybe he got to show up to take us home.
Good.